Welcome, Blended Learning Mentor, to our training on Getting Started, presented by your Blended Learning Specialist. Today you are viewing the first training in a series of trainings for the Blended Learning Mentor, also known as the Facilitator. This training session will give you just what you need to get your virtual lab ready to go. If FLVS is new to you, then let me introduce you to the FLVS mission. Our mission is to deliver a high-quality, technology-based education that provides the skills and knowledge students need for success. Our vision: transform education worldwide, one student at a time. And of course, the student is at the center of every decision we make. So what is blended learning? Blended learning is any recipe that mixes virtual learning, live instruction, and face-to-face experiences. Keep in mind that live instruction includes phone calls and live internet sessions ran by the FLVS instructor. What is the role of the Blended Learning Mentor? The BLM communicates with all stakeholders. That means parents, administrators, students, and the FLVS instructor. The BLM works hand in hand with the FLVS instructor to ensure that students are on track in their course. Providing a proper learning space for each student and a distraction-free environment is definitely the goal. Another role of the BLM is to ensure that all equipment is running properly and that all software needed has been installed. Consider the BLM like a coach who is leading their team to victory. Positive reinforcement is a big part of the BLM's role, so be sure to celebrate your students' success. For more tips on celebrating success, view our training session entitled Motivate and Celebrate. Florida Virtual School has academic policies and procedures, both of which are to provide the best virtual education possible. As part of the team, the BLM role is to help us uphold our high standards. Before we begin covering some upcoming action items, let's take a step back to see what steps have most likely already taken place. There has been an agreement between Florida Virtual School and your lab school. Reservations have been placed. Rosters have been received and processed. And student passwords securely sent to a representative at your school. Now, let's take a look at some of the important action items we will cover in this session to help you get prepared for the first week. Usernames and passwords, student profile completions, pacing and tracking, academic integrity, technology requirements, and drops and withdrawals. Let's start with student passwords. At this time, you or an administrator at your school has received a secure email with student login information. Students will need this information on the first day of school to log into their FLVS account. Some students may already have accounts but may have forgotten their password, so keeping this handy the first couple of weeks is a good idea. Be sure to keep your copy in a secure location. Instruct students that the username and password are case sensitive. Our next important action item is the student profile completion. Before a student can be placed or classroom assigned in a course, they must complete and update their student profile. Students who have only partially completed their profile will be on hold for teacher placement. As you can see, getting the student profile completed as soon as possible will be a high priority. There are 4 parts of the profile that must be completed: the student profile, the parent-guardian profile, the academic profile, and the race and ethnic background. Note that it will take up to 24 hours to place students with a teacher once the profile is completed. For more detailed directions, refer to the Facilitator Handbook that was attached to the welcome email sent to you by your Blended Learning Specialist. The next action item is pacing and tracking. Students are expected to follow a pace so they can finish their course on your school semester schedule. Every FLVS course has a pace chart that can be found under Course Information. Students are expected to work weekly and finish their semester on time. In most cases, this means they will complete the semester in 16 weeks. As a facilitator, you will want to have a plan to track student progress to make sure they are working towards their completion goals. For best practices on how to pace and track your students, view our training sessions entitled Pacing and Tracking. Every FLVS course has a teacher announcement page. The announcement page has the teacher contact information, help links, and live lesson schedules. Instruct your students to take a look at this page as soon as they are class assigned. Also, knowing the way around the student gradebook can be a great tool. Not only will your students need to be able to find their way, but you can also have them pull it up for a quick look. At the top of the gradebook, you can see the student grade and percentage complete. Scrolling down the gradebook, you can also view the assignments submitted and see the ones that are remaining. Each submitted assignment has a time and date stamp to indicate the exact moment it was submitted. As mentioned earlier, upholding academic integrity is very important to Florida Virtual School. So how can the Blended Learning Mentor help? We ask that you hang our AI and policies and procedures posters in your lab for students to see. If you do not have these posters, reach out to your district relations manager or your blended learning specialist. Show the FLVS AI video or have students watch it on their own. Continue to remind students of the importance of integrity in our courses. Alert the instructor if you suspect any violation. Students are getting more and more creative using search engines, online encyclopedias, and homework sites. Meeting technology requirements is a priority as you begin your school year. You will need high-speed Wi-Fi, updated software, headsets for each student, and an accessible phone. Visit www.flvs.net to prepare your equipment. Click on Quick Link option on the menu and then System Requirements. Remember to test your machines ahead of time to ensure they are working properly. Also, pre-install required software and plugins. Blackboard Collaborate Launcher is a new required software. It is needed for students to participate in live sessions as well as view recorded sessions. For directions on how to add Blackboard Launcher, refer to the direction guide that was attached to your welcome packet. For withdrawals, schedule changes, transfer students, or relocated students, please email the Blended Learning Specialist team at blc@flvs.net. For quicker processing, have your counselors email the BLS team. For uniformity, many of our lab instructors will wait until September to officially activate students, but students will have access to their course and may begin as soon as they are assigned to an instructor. Many facilitator resources are available to you. The BLS team is super excited to introduce our new social media initiative. We want to meet you where you are by making it easy for you to participate in our blended learning community. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Throughout the year, we will keep you posted on best practices and other important updates. For details on how to join, view our training session entitled Blended Learning Community. Our Facilitator Guide is full of great information to assist you in your role as facilitator. It has everything you need from the registration process to best practices. Check your welcome email for this important attachment. Here is a list of student activities for the first week of school. Students should complete their profile, print or write down their pace chart, make a note of teacher contact information, complete the welcome call with their instructor, and watch the Quick Start videos at the link provided. The academic integrity video mentioned earlier can also be found here. It is the same one that was attached to the facilitator welcome email. If you need assistance facilitating these activities, contact your blended learning specialist. Teamwork is the key. Your BLS team is here to support you. Please let us know how we can help. As mentioned earlier, this is only the first video in a series of brief training sessions. We recommend the following trainings, which can be found on our Blended Learning YouTube channel. Best practices for pacing, best practices for tracking, motivate and celebrate, and how to join the Blended Learning community. If you need assistance, please contact your Blended Learning specialist directly or email at blc@flvs.net.